What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. I'm back here on WS World. It's been a while. I know, and I apologize. So anyone seeing this video, thank you for coming back. Those of you that are seeing this video for the first time, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Hit a like. I need everybody to hit a like. Let's try to get this channel back in the algorithm. I've been focused on my other two channels, but I ran across something on TikTok, and that's what we're talking about today. That's what the thumbnail is. That's what the title is about. I also saw it on TMZ, as you can see from the thumbnail. There was a traffic stop. I believe it was in the Capitol. I believe it was in Washington, D.C. I don't know, and that doesn't matter. But there was a traffic stop. And the officer walked up to the car calmly, respectfully. And the guy sitting in the car was obviously from Afghanistan. He was an Afghani, right? And wound up very tight. And when the officer came up and started questioning him, the guy just, there was a lot of hatred. And I think that's important, that when we see stuff like this, we listen to both sides, right? I think it's very important. The guy in the car didn't have a license. He didn't have insurance. He didn't have a job. Now, he said basically that he fought the Taliban. He went against his own countrymen and fought alongside American soldiers, Marines. That's something that has always been, when the United States went into the Middle East, or when they go into other places, like when they were in Vietnam, and they get people to side with them, sometimes they aren't able to bring everyone here. And those that are left behind are usually massacred, or if they're lucky, I guess, I don't even know if that's lucky, they're imprisoned. For those that come over here, imagine the culture shock. This guy said he had 4 kids and he couldn't get a job. Is he making excuses? I don't know. But he obviously hit a breaking point. That officer tried to speak calmly with him and tell him, I served too, and build something there, because the officer had that feeling. Anybody that would have been in that situation would have had that feeling. You walk up and the guy says, hey, I'm armed. I have a gun on me. And then he starts ranting about the government, ranting, calling the officer a racist, accusing the officer of trying to kill him. There's a lot of people who a couple years back wanted to defund the police. And I've never understood that. I mean, I get it. If you grow up in a neighborhood where there's no crime, then maybe you'd be naive enough to think you don't need police. But you forget that if the bad guys know your neighborhood doesn't get policed and has no police force, they're coming in the window. They're kicking in the front door. For those that live in the inner cities, in the hoods, in the barrios and all that, they understand the necessity of police. But in this situation, we have an officer doing his job, recognizing it's a dangerous situation and trying to comfort the man, but there's no comforting somebody like that. The gunman did shoot at least one of the cops. Like, I literally just saw this stuff and jumped in front of the camera and wanted to talk to you guys about this. The gunman didn't survive. So here's the situation now, right? You had a man that aided the Americans in his own country and then came over here thinking he was entering the land of milk and honey. But the things that are okay in his culture are probably different than American culture. And so imagine feeling like you don't fit in. And he's seen his 4 kids maybe get bullied. And he's thinking, I fought for this country. They're picking on my kids, and my kids were on the right side. He's thinking this, right? He gets in that car that day. He's furious. It's been building up. He gets pulled over. Things get out of hand. He draws his weapon. He fires. The cops return fire. He's dead. Now his 4 children have no father. If he brought his wife, which I'm assuming he did, I'm pretty sure he did, her situation just got a whole lot worse. That was a horrible decision. Obviously, you're supposed to protect and provide for your people. I would think there would have been or could have been or should have been a way for this man to return to the Middle East. Maybe not Afghanistan, of course, but return to a place where he didn't feel alienated, singled out, forgotten about. He made a statement before the incident escalated and said that he should have fought on behalf of the Taliban. There are more people like that man in this country. Hopefully, they find themselves in better situations. And they don't hate this country. They don't hate their neighbors. I just wanted to shed light on this, and hopefully you guys go, and I think I'm almost positive I saw something on Jesse on Fire. Go to Jesse on Fire and check out his video. Check it out on TMZ. Check it out everywhere you can. See the different angles. The TMZ video that I saw had every angle, every officer's body cam. And you'll see which officer actually ended the situation. But it's an unfortunate thing. These officers probably have wives and kids that are going to be scared to death every time their husband or their father has to go to work. But that man who died, his 4 children, if they're getting bullied, they're getting picked on, this isn't going to stop it. It actually may make it worse. The wife now has to pick up the slack. Just something to think about, man. You know, this is Memorial Day weekend. This is when we're supposed to remember those who fought for our country, and that man fought for our country. It reminds me kind of the way a lot of the Vietnam vets felt when they came back. They expected a hero's welcoming. And unfortunately, it was an unpopular war. Not even declared a war. It was an unpopular conflict. This man fought for our country, had never even entered it. And then when he did, he felt like the world was against him. Shout out to everyone who has served our country. We appreciate you, man. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.